What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video where we're going to talk about the talent Streamline. And if you listen to everybody on YouTube, you'd be led to believe that this is absolutely amazing, the best thing since sliced bread. And I'm here to kind of disagree and just go, do you know what? It's balanced. That's exactly what it is. It's absolutely balanced. I spoiled the video. We could end it right there, but I'm going to show you why I've come to that conclusion. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and let's get straight into it. So first of all, we're going to talk about the mechanics of it, right? So if you look at Streamline, they changed it from the PTS. So in the PTS, it gives us a ton more damage, like nearly double, right? 80% was the regular version, 87% was the perfect version. Now that is normal. They reduced it now. The version that we can put on our guns is 42%. Now that number sounds like a lot, right? It does sound like a lot, but we also have other weapon talents that give us a lot. For instance, we've got to look at things like Killer. Killer's a favorite since it got a buff a while back, and that gives you 70% critical hit damage, which is a lot, but it has a downfall. You've got to get a kill, and if you're not playing solo, that's not always the best, depending on what your build's like and things like that. But solo, that is hands down one of the best talents in the game. Really, really good, regardless of if you're running LMGs, SMGs, ARs. It's fantastic, right? Aside from if you're going to run exotics or whatever. But we digress, so let's move on. And then there's another talent that we have that we can put on guns, which again is really, really good. There's no downside to it, but your build has to adapt towards it, is Flatline. And that gives you 15% amp damage, not regular damage, amp damage, right? Which again, brilliant, we will take it. But it's going to be to pulsed enemies, right? So you've got to think about being able to adjust to put the link laser pointer on. Maybe run a pulse as a skill, or run Heartbreaker. So there's a couple of things you've got to think about there. You've got to adapt the build. And for instance, this little thing that I've got here wouldn't take the linked laser pointer, but the other gun, like the Dark Winter Wood or the Vector SBR 45, which is another top tier SMG, you could put Flatline on that, and you know, and go with that. And you can see here I've been testing with various things. I did want to make a build on this little pocket rocket. But unfortunately, I'm probably going to leave that for another build video. It's not really going to work out in this video when I kind of show you what I'm going to show you. So, great. But, so let's talk about how Streamline works. So, increase weapon damage by 42% when no skills are on cooldown. Well, the problem with that is, right, they changed that. So, for instance, now at the bottom, you can see on the bar next to the Hunter's Fury icon, that new double arrow icon. And if I press my pulse, it disappears, which means I've got no weapon damage talent now on my gun. And when it disappears, it comes back, and it's as easy as that. So that's kind of cool, right? That's as you expect. But they did make a change for skills like the shield. So if I pull out the shield, see, it's not on cooldown. So even though there's no cooldown, because this shield is active, it takes away the damage until you put it away. You get the short cooldown, and then it comes back. So that is now is a disadvantage. And to be honest, I think they should take that away. My recommendation is, okay, you're going to keep the change in damage. Let us have active skills. Let us have the shield out, right? I don't see it as being too OP. You've got Flatline that requires a pulse. You've got Killer that requires a kill. This now requires 2 steps, not just on cooldown, also active, which is kind of a bummer. But then when you do what we're going to do now, so I'm going to do this now, and this is I'm going to show you actual numbers, but just kind of look at this now, right? So you can see that all my things are building up at the bottom. So we've got the Hunter's Fury buff, we've got Unstoppable Force, we've got Obliterate, all the nice things, and they're all building up nice and bonny at the bottom. And now they're maxed out, right? That's great. And on armor, let's do an on armor hit. You can see that it's 1190, right? Around that. Okay, that is great. That sounds good. Does a lot of damage. So then I'm going to flip over this now to Killer instead. Let's get all them things buffed up again. and you can see I'm doing more damage with killer. So you can see that it's 124,250. The RPM's the same, the Hunter's Fury buff's the same, everything else is the same, but I do more damage with killer than I do with flatline, but I require a kill. Now we all know killer stays up, right? So if I do this here now, I've got max crit chance on the build. It's very rare that it doesn't refresh, right? We all know how good killer is. It kind of is what it is, as long as you've got max crit chance, especially this season where you can go to 100% crit chance. We all know killer's very good. So flatline, I'm not gonna build that into this build, but what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna throw the numbers up on the screen for you to see. And the real difference is around 0.5%. There is nothing in them. Killer is just as good as Streamline. Streamline's not this all singing, all dancing, amazing talent that some people may be leading you to believe. And I think it's just because of that big number that you see on the talent. There's 0.5% in it, and there's maybe, you know, and that's it. That is literally it. There is 0.5% in it, you know, and you know there's 1% between killer and flatline. No, they're all as good as each other. They're incredibly balanced, and that is a really good thing for the game, because that means now you can be situational. And it's very similar that we've had the chat recently on my channel with the Lexington, with the Huntsman, and with the Caretaker. Yes, okay, the guns handle very differently, and you might not like, you've got to be up close and personal with a FAMAS. You might not like the spray on the Caretaker. The Lexington, kind of the best of all worlds, but not everybody's got one. But between them, there's like, I think it's 1 or 1.5% damage. Go and check the videos out. I did the math again. There was nothing between them, and it's the same with this. And they've gone for balance and options depending on what you're going to run. Then, you know, but to me, Streamline actually comes, for my playstyle, actually comes bottom tier out of these three. Because if I run it on a Hunter's Fury build, yeah, all right, that's pretty good. The damage is always up all the time. But Hunter's Fury, I like to run up close and personal. If I go down, I got a Reviver Hive and a long cooldown at that point. Therefore, no damage talent on my gun. And I just think that could become annoying, to be perfectly honest. If my skills are down at any point, to not have any damage for that amount of time. So far, it's good, it's okay. I'll probably make build videos. I'll probably make that build video that, you know, Hunter's Fury with Streamline, woo. And, you know, but the downside will be if you go down, you are significantly weakened, as opposed that you wouldn't be with Killer. You wouldn't be with Flatline. So it's incredibly balanced, and that's not, you know, that's by all means, this is not a negative video. I don't want it to come across as negative, but I do want to get the message out that I don't want agents nerfing themselves, that if they're going to battle, they think Streamline is worth the fact that if your Revive Hive is going to be on cooldown, that waiting them minutes for it to come back is worth it, because you're going to get this insane amount of extra damage that you would in comparison to any other gun talent, and it's just not the way, it's just not how it is. If you do have a build where you go down quite a bit because that's your playstyle, you like to run and gun, and you think, do you know what, I don't care, I've got a Revive Hive, this might not be the talent for you. So just be careful what you're putting on your guns. Yes, you know, for maybe like a sniper, if you're not using Determined, but who would when we've got Determined? Yeah, for my playstyle, I don't see a place for it right now, but I'm definitely interested in seeing what comments I get down below. And just one thing to kind of note here, this is also build dependent. I based this off an SMG build with Hunter's Fury, but obviously these stats would change a little bit if you ran strikers or for some reason had more crit damage, because what you got to think about is Killer adds crit damage and Streamline adds weapon damage. But the bottom line is going to be they're always going to come in extremely close together. There isn't going to be a huge marker between them all. In fact, thinking about it, Sadist would probably win out, and then Killer, and then Streamline, and then Flatline, and then, you know, whatever else underneath that as well. So, you know, depending on build as well, that will have some motions, but generally that is always going to be that killer will win out. Streamline will probably come second, and then Flatline would most likely come third in all scenarios. So really it breaks down to how you want to play the game. I think what I'll do is I'll also do a video for this concerning the AR side of it, to just to make things a little bit more granular. This is obviously comparing just SMGs. I think we should bring strikers into it because that also adds a lot of damage. So I think I'll do a separate video so this one's not too long and stat heavy concerning that. So look for that in the future going forward. As always, look after yourselves, agents, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.